Happy Monday. Welcome into the show. You're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. Hope all of your weeks are off to a great start. And coming up on the show, NFL Draft wraps up. Right away, Philadelphia Eagles get their rookies on the field for rookie minicamp. So we're going to take a look at our Eagles rookie minicamp winners and losers. Stay tuned for that. But first, today's show is sponsored by Roan. I'm wearing their commuter polo. I absolutely love their gear, and you can see it for yourself at roan.com/chatsports. And when you use the code chatsports, you get 20% off your order. We'll tell you more about them coming up here in just a few moments. Let's first take a look and pass along our thoughts on some of these rookie numbers, and keep in mind that this is subject to change. As for the draftees, Quinyon Mitchell, gonna rock the number 30. Cooper DeJean, number 33. Jalix Hunt, the edge rusher, number 58, formerly Trent Cole. Running back Will Shipley, 39. I don't love it. Ainias Smith, Torrey Smith, number 82. Linebacker Jeremiah Trotter Jr. in the number that his pops wore and became a two-time All-Pro in the Midnight Green in number 54. Trevor Keegan, 79, reminds me of Todd Harriman's. Wide receiver Johnny Wilson at 89. I'm cool with it. Dylan McMahon at number 63. Those are the draftee numbers. The UDFAs. Gottlieb Ayedze, number 61. Tight end McAllen Castles, 43 for a tight end. It's just a tough look. Aneem Dankwa, 75. Good offensive line number. And then defensive tackle Gabe Hall, 96. There is some symmetry there. Running back Kendall Milton. Never like running backs when they're in the 30s. You got to go with something in the 20s or single digits, but you're a UDFA. Andre Sam at 35. And then the Aussie. Good day, mate. Aussie. Oi. Laiken Vakalahi, going to be rocking the number 67, being tutored by Jeff Stoutland and Jordan Mailata. Again, important to note that these numbers are certainly subject to change. With that, let's start breaking down our Eagles minicamp, rookie minicamp winners and losers. And I'm going to start off actually with two veterans. And a lot of you are probably seeing these faces, seeing these names on your screen, asking yourselves this: how is A.J. Brown and Jordan Mailata a winner from Eagles rookie minicamp? I'll tell you how. Because the veterans, when they could be away from the facility, they could be on vacation, they could be doing anything else other than being at a football practice that they do not have to be at, we're at the NovaCare complex. A.J. Brown, after signing that record-breaking contract extension, was on the sideline, wanted to scout the rookies and see which players were going to be making their way to Philadelphia and the impact potentially that they could have if they cracked the 53. That's leadership. And then Jordan Mailata, also there and participating in offensive line meetings. That's leadership, as I noted. That is culture right there. And to see two of your team captains, two of your best players at rookie minicamp, that is setting the tone for this entire offseason going into 2024. I absolutely love it, so I had to include them on that list. Now to our actual rookies. Cooper DeJean, second-round pick, 40th overall, cornerback out of Iowa, and I have a feeling that as his career progresses, he is going to be a defensive savant all across that secondary. In his first practice, DeJean played all over the secondary. Outside corner, inside corner, little bit of safety. I think that he can add hybrid linebacker to that resume. I think that he can be included in some blitz calls from Vic Fangio. The Eagles drafted him and listed him as a corner. Howie Roseman, following the draft, has said he is going to play cornerback for us. But just like those rookie numbers, I think that is subject to change because you want to find ways to put your best players on the football field. The more versatile that you are, I think you have the better chance to see significant snaps as a rookie. And here is DeJean rocking the midnight green. Of course, in that practice jersey, they did wear the helmets. No pads for rookie minicamp. He wore number 3 at Iowa. That would have been a clean number, but that is currently occupied by Nolan Smith, and I thought that was a good choice for Nolan Smith. Makes you look a little bit faster and slimmer as an edge rusher with that fast first step. From the second-round selection for the Birds to the first-round pick in Quinyon Mitchell. Both corners really impressing this coaching staff and the media members on hand at the NovaCare complex in South Philadelphia, getting a quick look at what these rookies are capable of doing. And when I looked at some of the video of Quinyon Mitchell, when you hear Nick Sirianni, Howie Roseman talk, he looks the part. And as I mentioned, when he got drafted by Philadelphia, he's so fluid with how he moves. In and out of his breaks, important for a corner. The overall 4.3 40-yard dash speed. He's already doing his job of developing relationships with his teammates. He went to Sixers-Knicks, Game 6. Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia with Cooper DeJean because they're looking to establish a friendship. And again, that goes back to the Eagles drafting players they think fits their culture. And Quinyon Mitchell specifically drew the attention of Nick Sirianni as the Eagles head coach said, quote, "Man, Quinyon Mitchell, he has big play ability." Who does Mitchell model his game after? Fittingly, Darius Slay. And they do have some similarities, from the build to the speed to the ball skills. Here's what Sirianni had to say about his first and second round selections from the 2024 NFL Draft. Cooper has obvious versatility. Quinyon has big playability. They both have big playability. Obviously, we're not to a point where this guy's playing here or that guy's playing here or this guy's limited to just this. We're just out there right now getting some reps out there and seeing where they fit. Also, all teams know that in rookie minicamp, they're not going to have these players go 100% because they're not quite in shape going through the pre-draft process, their visits, and then the NFL draft. Just some light work on the practice field, which was looking hella green, by the way. Eagles do a great job of taking care of their practice surfaces and their game surface at Lincoln Financial Field. That's what good organizations do. Shout out to Jeffrey Lurie. New York Giants, you can't say the same. Quinyon Mitchell, as of right now, wearing the number 30. He did rock the number 27 at Toledo. It's currently worn right now by Zach McPherson. Who knows if he even makes the team? If he doesn't, maybe Mitchell goes back to that college number from Toledo. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way, for the best, most informative, most insightful year-round coverage of the Philadelphia Eagles. That's a big reason why we're approaching 75,000 subscribers, so hit that sub button right now. More winners and losers to get to, but first, as I mentioned off the top, today's show, sponsored by Roan. Get 20% off when you use the code CHATSPORTS. Roan has everything that you need to really enhance your wardrobe, from the commuter polo that I'm wearing right now, that baby boot polo that we just showed you, the white polo, dress shirts, shorts, pants. You can wear these clothing items on the golf course, here at work, in front of the camera, wearing a headset, talking ball, out on a date. You're getting some drinks with some friends. That's what I did over the weekend with producer Chip and other people from Chat Sports. And I was wearing my Roan gear. And when I walked by, people were like, "Damn, homie, look good, feel good." And I said, that's the motto, but that's the motto only with Roan. And I told those people, Roan.com/chatsports, use the code CHATSPORTS, and you get 20% off your order. Also, check us out on YouTube. We're going to put that link down below in the comment section and in the description of this video. Really appreciate Roan for all of the support of the Chat Sports movement, and here specifically on today's Eagles Now. From your corner office comfort to a date night to the golf course, Roan has you covered. Our third winner is Laiken Vakalahi, offensive tackle, who the Eagles discovered out of Australia in a story that is absolutely incredible. And I communicated with Laurie Horesh of ESPN Australia over the weekend. He DM'd me. He works for ESPN Australia, and he was like, "Hey, man, thanks for the coverage." I said, "No problem at all. I think this story is incredible. Do the Philadelphia Eagles have their next Jordan Mailata?" They might. Like Mailata, Laiken Vakalahi has never played football. But like Jordan Mailata, he's a big athlete who can move, who certainly looks the part. As for that story, I talked about this on Saturday's show, but we can revisit it. Rather than playing football or any other sport in recent seasons, Lawrence said, Vakalahi, who boasts 35-inch arms, 11-inch hands, and an 83-inch wingspan, has spent the past 2 years completing his mission service in Wellington, New Zealand. How did he get discovered, you may ask? Well, here's what he had to say. Vakalahi, it's a bit of a funny story. My mom and dad were in Hawaii just on a holiday, and a friend of Eagles international scout Chris Naoli walked past my dad and saw he was a big guy. He started talking to him. They had a conversation, and my dad said, I've got some boys. So they started talking about my younger brother, Kobe. He's a big boy, but he's not of age. And they got to talking about me. And this guy wanted to get me in contact with Chris Naoli, the Eagles international scout. I was serving on a mission trip at the time for my church, and once the mission service had concluded, a workout was set up with Naoli, a former first-round pick of the New Orleans Saints in 1997, flew in, headed to a unique spot in the New Zealand capital. 10 minutes from the Wellington airport, there's a soccer field, Vakalahi said. Hey, let's go there. It'll do the job. He started teaching me all these different stances and got me doing different drills to show my power technique and flexibility. Man, I was so puffed. But it was a good workout. I love the Australian dialogue, by the way. My mom and pop, and I was so puffed. It's classic. G'day, mate. The future of Vakalahi. He's not going to be an impact player right from the jump, but the discovery of finding him. Oh, you run into a parent in Hawaii. You're huge. Do you have any sons? Yeah, I've got a couple, actually. Son Kobe, son Laken. Well, we can't bring in Kobe. What about this Laken guy? Well, he's on a missions trip right now. When's that over? Oh, it's over in a couple of months. Okay, let's set up a workout. And then they sign him as an undrafted free agent. So it's going to take him a while to develop. Never played football. The same could have been said for Jordan Mailata. Jordan Mailata played professional rugby. Vakalahi did not play professional rugby. Was a good rugby player instead of going pro. He went on the missions trip. Now he can play professional American football. And now gets to get tutored by fellow Aussie, Jordan Mailata, and the best offensive line coach in the NFL in Jeff Statland, who played a role in signing Vakalahi. And when I say he looks the part, these photos courtesy of 9 News in Australia, this is a man that's never played football before. He looks already like an offensive guard or an offensive tackle, and here he is in his stance. And I saw him get into that stance out of the break, look pretty good in doing that. Now he's going to have to go up against some physical NFL defensive lineman. He's going to have to get used to that physicality, but either way, just a fascinating story. Vakalahi's dad also reached out to me. He sent me an email, and this gives you more intel and insight behind the background of this story. He said, we've been living here in Australia since 2006 from Auckland, New Zealand. Hopefully I have great belief, or obviously I have great belief and hope for my son to do well, but the fact that the Eagles had narrowed down from a large pool and overlooked 2 great candidates from the International Pathway Program and the NFL Combine, and then went with Laken, who didn't do any of those, is a true miracle. Coach Stout must have seen or liked something indeed. So Philadelphia clearly liked the prospect here, going with him over players from the NFL Combine and the International Pathway Program. If you go from not having played football to signing with a team this talented with Super Bowl aspirations as a UDFA, I'm sorry. You are a rookie minicamp winner in my book. So too is Will Shipley, by the way, the 4th-round pick, running back out of Clemson. Going into the draft, I thought running back was a sneaky need for Philadelphia, and I think that he can really challenge Kenny Gainwell for RB2 snaps and 3rd down running back snaps. Of course, the Eagles are going to put the football in the belly of Saquon Barkley. They're going to throw the football to Saquon Barkley as much as they can to make good on that contract. Then Howie Roseman said, we wanted to zig when everybody else was zagging across the NFL. That's why we signed him. Saquon is so special. But throughout the rigors of now a 17-game regular season, you need a deep running back room. Shipley is that. Good pass catcher, good balance, good feet, good vision. And from NFL scouts, he is getting some poor man's Christian McCaffrey type of comps. And he looked good during Eagles rookie minicamp as well, as you see him doing some drills here. And his call as well with Howie Roseman after the Eagles took him was pretty funny. He was like, I'm good. This is Will Shipley, running back Clemson. And Howie Roseman's like, I know who you are. I'm calling you to take you in the NFL draft, and I'm excited to see his development. And then coming in, as far as our 5th rookie minicamp winner, on top of A.J. Brown and Jordan Mailata, is Jeremiah Trotter, linebacker. He gets to play for the Eagles, where his dad became a legend and one of the best linebackers in the history of this organization. He gets to wear his dad's number, the number 54, and he said he's going to live at home to save money. That's winning right there. That's being smart financially. And it's so crazy to see Trotter Jr. in the Trotter Sr. number 54. This news also just coming in, and I wanted to add it to this list at the last moment. Sean Stevens, cornerback Ferris State, has been added to the Eagles' 90-man roster. He really impressed a lot of people throughout rookie minicamp. He is the cousin of Steelers cornerback and first-round pick from last year out of Penn State, Joey Porter Jr., and he impressed so much, even though he's a D2 player, that the Eagles have added him to the roster as well in what is a very deep cornerback room. With that, I ask you this: which rookie on the roster are you most excited about? Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, it's certainly a tie-up for me. As for our losers, I have two at the wide receiver position, John Ross and Johnny Wilson. A lot of people are very familiar with John Ross. He was selected 9th overall by Cincinnati in the 2017 NFL Draft out of Washington. And he soared up draft boards because during the Combine in 2017, he clocked, at that time, the fastest 40-yard dash in the history of the Combine. And then Texas wide receiver Xavier Worthy was able to beat him back in March. And John Ross, after retiring, he has dealt with so many injuries. It's been disappointing because he hasn't been able to fully show what he's able to do, is now trying to make a comeback. But he's trying to make a comeback with the team that he's not going to make the roster of, because Philadelphia is just way too deep at the wide receiver position. This is nothing against John Ross. Good luck to you. Hopefully you're able to stay healthy and latch on with the team. With that speed, you could certainly be a game breaker, as we've seen in moments, but he's been hindered by injuries. But Philadelphia isn't the place to do it because they have such quality depth at the wide receiver position. And sticking with the wide receiver position, Johnny Wilson, the 6th-round pick out of Florida State. A clip surfaced over the weekend from Hall of Famer and former Panthers All-Pro Steve Smith. Not high on Johnny Wilson in the pre-draft process. This is what he said. This is where some people are going to get a little butthurt. Johnny Wilson, my man, number 14 from Florida State, 6'7", 237 pounds. He is not a good multitasker. That boy can't chew gum and tie his shoes at the same time. He's struggling. When you look at the size, 6'7", 237 pounds, we hear this word, we heard about it with a lot of people. He's a freak. Maybe at night, but it ain't on the football field. I'm just telling you. So that is his very raw, to say the least, and honest assessment of Johnny Wilson. I said the moment that he was drafted, he is really tall. In fact, the tallest wide receiver in the NFL, but he plays smaller than that, can get sloppy with route running, ball concentration, and drops. Steve Smith probably saw that, but I'm willing to take a chance on a player with that physical upside that late in the draft and over the weekend, making that contract official in signing with the Birds. So those are my Eagles rookie minicamp winners and losers. Who is your biggest winner and loser? Let me know down in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching the show as always.